Bing, intermission over. Now for part 2 of our Shakti discussion at this beautiful Bhaktifest festival. So I've been asked to talk about not only Shakti, the meaning and significance and conclusive philosophical truths of Shakti, which we did in part 1, but also to discuss the importance of music and song and these workshops. So the workshops, of course, turn us over to song, to yoga. I think we might have discussed in part 1 how yoga exercises is not the full impact of yoga. It's only to calm our mind so that we can practice yoga. And what is yoga? Yoga means bhakti-yoga. Yoga means to link or to add. It's just like you add 2 bricks by the medium of cement. So we add us with God, the Supreme Absolute Soul of all souls, by the process of devotion. That's the cement, love and devotion. So the workshops are to turn us over to yoga. Yoga means bhakti-yoga, which we can do by the mercy of those who have bhakti shakti, the power of pure bhakti in their hearts. And another benefit of the workshop is to turn us over to song, to sing, to explain why we sing, the significance of singing, the significance of music, the significance of that connection. It's getting cold here in Texas. So music is essential. From the beginning of time, from the beginning of creation, Krishna, at the beginning of creation, Lord Krishna played his flute into the holes of the 8 ears, 8 holes of the 8 ears of Lord Brahma. You know, 4-headed Brahma, who is our universe's sub-creator. And he initiated him into the Gayatri mantra, Gopal mantra, which enabled him to create the whole universe. More than that, Krishna's flute music, so his flute music is the origin, the source of the origin of creation. Also, Krishna himself is the embodiment of song. All the Vedic literatures which describe the Lord's tattva or philosophical truths and pastimes, all the Vedic literatures are mantras, prayers, philosophy, but the verses even describing the pastimes, the heroic feats of the Lord in his different incarnation as a boar, as a half lion, half man, as Lord Ram, as fish incarnation. In each of those incarnations, he performs a heroic deeds for the benefit of the universe. And even the descriptions of those pastimes are all versified. They're all to sing. Like, for example, the first verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the essence, the cream of the milk ocean of all Vedic literatures. Okay, ready for song? Janma jashiyaton bayad iteratas jarte svabhigyan swarat tene brahma hridaya adi kavaye mohyanti yatasoraya tejo vari mridam yata vinimayo yatra trishargo marshad, tam nasvena sada nirasta kuhakam, satyam param dhimahi. So, the absolute truth is he from whom everything is created, everything is maintained, and everything is destroyed at the end. Like a spider who, out of his own saliva, he creates his web, catches his insects, perverted reflection of an analogy, excuse me, catches his insects, and then when he's finished, he rolls it all back into his own body. So it is he alone, this is as the verse continues, it is he alone who first spoke the Vedic knowledge into the heart of Lord Brahma, the first created being. By him, even the demigods are bewildered as to what is reality, just like sometimes there's a mirage of fire in water, or especially you've heard of the mirage of water on the land. So the verse closes, this is the opening verse of the whole Bhagavatam. So the verse closes by saying, so I meditate, this is a verse by Vyasadeva, who's the literary incarnation of Krishna and manifested all the Vedic literatures. Therefore, I meditate on the supreme absolute truth, Sri Krishna, who is forever residing in his own abode, which is free from the illusory representation of the material energy. So everything is in song. So Krishna is the embodiment of song. As you know, in Ram's Leela, the whole Ramayana is song. Love and Kush sang the Ramayana in the most beautiful song, which brought tears to the eyes of Lord Ram and his thousands of guests at the ceremony. His divine flute, Krishna's divine flute, enchants all beings who are qualified to hear them. Now, Narada Muni is the eternal spaceman who has millions of disciples all over the universes, and who plays his veena chanting Hare Krishna, the closing song every Bhaktifest and Shaktifest. So, where did he get his melodies from? He got his melodies from Krishna's Rasa Leela, his dance with billions of gopis headed by Srimati Radhika, who is the primeval intrinsic Shakti of Krishna, which makes him God, because God can't be God if he doesn't have power. So therefore, coming down to this world, the wife is called the better half of the husband, or the power of the husband. Where does this come from? Sri Radha. So the gopis' ankle bells singing in the Rasa Leela, and the gopis' tunes, they made up the tunes because they're the origin of everything. And Narada, Lord Shiva, they all get their melodies, their tunes, from the gopis in the Rasa Leela. So everything comes from that divine love of Shaktiman, Krishna, the embodiment or source of power, and Shakti, Sri Radha, who is Shakti herself, and from whom, as we mentioned earlier, we didn't mention, but the Vedic literatures mention, all other Shaktis, all other feminine counterparts of the Absolute, feminine counterparts of all of Krishna's incarnations come to be. So we make a daily practice to, what time did I start, so I know when a half hour is up? 10 more minutes or 20 more minutes? Okay. So we make it a daily practice to sing the songs of those self-realized souls who are coming to us in the cyclic succession of self-realized masters, like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and we have songbooks for distribution, which I'll tell you about in a bit. Songbooks called bhajans. So we sing these songs so that we could learn and absorb something of the exalted moods of the transcendental personalities and their love, like Krishna and the gopis and their associates, so that we can learn something of their exalted sentiments, so we can be free from Radha's manifestation as the external Shakti, that is this illusory material world, which is full of birth, old age, disease, and death. We can become free from the illusory sentiments. Now I'm angry. Now I'm frustrated. Now I'm sad. Now I'm so happy. But the next minute, I am angry. So these sentiments are actually coming from that in Sanskrit, Bahiranga Shakti, or external illusory energy. They're not really ours. Just like in the Bible it says, dust thou wert, dust thou beest. The body is just dust. And the emotions of the body are ultimately just dust, dusty. So by chanting the mantras, specifically the Maha Mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra, Cheto Darpanamarjanam Pavamahadavagni Nirvapanam, the first installment of chanting is that the dust from the mirror of the heart is cleansed, and I can see myself, I can see God, I can see the world, and I can see everybody else who I thought they were their bodies before. Just like if you have looking in a mirror that's full of dust, what do you see? You see dust. If you clean the dust, then you can see everything. So that's the first installment of the chanting. So this is the unique speciality of song in Vedic culture. And my Diksha Guru, my initiating spiritual master, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who brought bhakti to the West in 1965, in the first Acharya's songbook that he produced, he wrote in the foreword that kirtan is the safest situation in the material world. It's such amazing mercy. Like, we try to get rid of this misery and that misery, but it comes to like, okay, there's a wave in the ocean, and when this goes down, then I'll be okay, if I can just master this wave. But then immediately there's another wave. If I can just solve this problem, my so-and-so died, my husband or wife left me, I just broke my leg got amputated in a bomb, so many miseries. Or thinking, now I'm being born, I'm being turned upside down, full of blood, slapped upside down by the doctor to bring me to life. I mean, it goes on and on. Being bitten by the bugs in my mother's abdomen, or burned by the spices that she's eating. It's just a terrible situation. So how to solve this problem or that problem? But our Shiksha Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, gave one analogy that if we try to solve our problems, then we simply create a bridge to the world of problems. But if we simply take advantage of the song in Vedic culture, then Krishna takes our problems and carries them on his own head, and he solves them automatically. So such mercy we're getting from our disciplic succession of spiritual masters, that simply by singing the bhajans, the mantras, the kirtans, in glorification of the Supreme Truth, we become situated in that truth and free from illusion. I don't know if I ever gave this example before. It's Prabhupada's example that he's giving a funny but sad analogy of the illusory struggle against the material existence. You have a bird, and the bird walks up to a mirror, and he's thinking, who is that guy? So he pecks the mirror. Naturally, the bird in the mirror pecks back because he's hitting the mirror. How dare you hit me? I can't believe you did that. And so he pecks harder. And then naturally the bird pecks harder back. So he just keeps pecking, pecking, pecking till his beak is broken and he's just all bloody and dies. So this is called the illusory struggle against the material nature, the cause of which is our attachment to illusion and forgetfulness of the Supreme Truth. So by song, manifested by the mercy of the scriptures and the acharyas in Vedic culture, we become situated in truth, free from illusion for the welfare of all. I want to take the last 5 minutes to talk about the books and the great opportunity, if you haven't already heard it, that we give every year, twice a year at Bhaktifest and Shaktifest, and which we give online. So I just want to read from one of the books that we're offering you. We're not offering it, our disciplic succession of pure gurus is offering it, called Harinam Mahamantra. There's a beautiful verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddha Nitya Mukta Vinatvam Nama Namina. The holy name of Krishna awards all benedictions, just like a Chintamani stone. Chintamani stone is a spiritual stone that, more than a touchstone, which can turn anything into gold, but the Chintamani stone can fulfill all desires. So it is Krishna himself, Bhagavan himself, the embodiment of all transcendental mellows, tastes, spiritual sentiments. And since Krishna and Krishna's name are non-different, the holy name is complete. It's Purna. And by connecting with that complete whole, all sense of incompleteness disappears. And the influence of Maya or illusion, one is eternally liberated from that. Another nice verse. Jayati Jayati Namananda Rupam Murari Viramita Nija Dharma Dhyana Pujari Yatnam Katamapi Sakradatam Muktidam Praninam Yat Paramamritam Ekam Jivanam Bhushanam Me. All victory to the name, the holy name, the embodiment of divine bliss. Through the chanting of this name, all other subsidiary activities, religious duties, meditation, worship, fruitive activities, all other endeavors are completed. Just like if you have $1 million, then your $10 problems are automatically solved. Even if it's uttered indifferently, still that supreme nectar grants liberation. And when it's sung in love, then it gives that entrance into the pastimes. It doesn't mean we just disappear, but it means that we're situated on that higher reality and anywhere we go, being illumined by that reality, entering into the pastimes, hearing the beautiful stories of Radha and Krishna, which are in our books like Prem Samput, where Radharani reveals all of the secrets of her love, which we're part of, since we're part and parcel of Radha and Krishna. The nature of spiritual love is that it doesn't come out of the mouth. If it comes out of the mouth, it would be destroyed. That sounds funny, doesn't it? I love you. It would be destroyed. Why? It's the nature of spiritual love that it resides in the chambers of the hearts of the beloveds. And it's like if you have a ghee lamp or a light, a candle, and it's especially ghee lamp because that smells nice. Candles don't smell usually, sometimes. So if that ghee lamp is kept in the chamber, closed, with the windows closed, then the scent, the aroma, just gets thicker or thicker, or you can think of incense as well. But if the door is open, then that fragrance evaporates. So in spiritual love, to say I love you, it disappears. So Radharani is always playing hard to get, and don't come near me, you're a debauchee, I'm a happily married girl, even though she's married only to the shadow of Krishna. But when Krishna disguised himself, as you can see here, as a demigoddess, and told her that I am from the heavenly planets, and we heard Krishna's flute playing, and at the beginning of his Rasa Leela, so all the girls on our planet were attracted, but I was smart enough to actually come here and sit on the tree where he was standing under, and I saw how he was dancing with billions of gopis, and then how he left all of them for you, and then how he left you, and you were just weeping and rolling on the ground. I don't think you should love Krishna. He's not worth it. He has a lot of good qualities, but he's just not chaste. So Radharani said that, Radharani answered to this Krishna disguised demigoddess, you know, if somebody criticizes one's beloved, then generally one doesn't want to have anything to do with that person, but somehow or other, you have the same power over me of enchantment that Krishna does, and I want to keep you with me forever, and I'm going to tell you all the secrets of my divine love. And my so-called jealousy, that is when Krishna goes with another gopi, and then he comes back to me late with the signs of that, having been with another gopi, and then I sound angry and I said, don't talk to me, I don't want any more relationship with you, go back to your other lover. So am I really trying to upset Krishna, or am I really upset? No, because I know that whenever he's with anyone else, he can't really enjoy himself because he's always thinking of me and my suffering. And my suffering is only because I know that he can't enjoy himself thinking of me, that I'm suffering. This is the oneness of the hearts of Radha and Krishna. So then when I tell him, you rake, go back to your other lover, I don't want any relationship with you, what I'm really meaning to say is, I'm expressing that I also have a longing for you as you have for me, and I'm also expressing, I don't know why you give yourself not the highest happiness by going with other gopis. So when I act in man, transcendental loving jealous anger, this gives Krishna millions of times increased happiness. So we, now I'm back to us, I'm not Radha anymore, we are part and parcel of that pure love, which increases at every moment. And the perverted reflection is that, you know, here in this material world, if I don't express myself because I'm afraid to be gullible and admit that, you know, I really want to be with you. Rather, I criticize you. You're always out, never come back on time. And that just creates disgust on the part of the other person, and they have to defend himself, and then I get more angry because they gave a good defense, and now I have to figure out how to hold my word as true, and it just becomes big fights, and then I divorce and all those kind of things. But this love is pure and it increases every moment, no matter what happens. And it's like a lion who kills an elephant and eats it and nourishes itself. Excuse the analogy. That's how material nature is. So the lion kills the elephants and nourishes himself by eating the elephant. So similarly, elephant is the elephant of obstacles, difficulties. The lion of prema, or transcendental love, devours all obstacles and difficulties caused by anything or anyone. So this perfection of song sung in love, makes the singer, the chanter, free from all obstacles, all difficulties. And that's just a negative, but full of ecstasy that increases in ever newness and freshness, newer than the previous moment. So there's so much more to say, or as the bee said as he was buzzing around the fragrant flowers, so much nectar, but no time. Okay, so we'll close by doing what we usually do, and I'm happy to have the pile of books.
You did that in the first part.
I did it in the first part, no need to do it in the second part. Vasanti is reminding me. So, as mentioned earlier, until the lockdown is over, which could be, like, who knows, indefinite, we have a fabulous offer of any number of books and posters for any donation at all. And for yourself, as gifts, for bar mitzvahs, for house openings, for births, for birthdays, what else is there? Anniversaries. So this makes the best gift. Better than a vase and better than socks. Okay, so I'm going to end here. I think the time is up.
We can contact you and
Yes, how would you get those books? And how would you contact me if you want to? I have a Facebook page called Syamarani, right? Dasi. And for getting the books or anything you want to arrange, to organize, you can write to Vasanti Dasi's Facebook page, her email, her Instagram. Thank you. I'm so happy to be with you. I feel your presence, your divine presence. And thank you again to the organizers of Bhaktifest, Sridhar, Nancy, and Gail, and all of you. And Bela, Sridhar's daughter, beautiful daughter, for inviting us to speak. Look forward to see you soon. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.